In the name of God, I am one of the petroleum instructors with about 5 years of experience in the petroleum industry, and now I am going to teach you the A to Z Techlog software training course, or the 0 to 100 Techlog software training course. This is the first part of this educational series. In this part, we will first talk about the topics of the Techlog fundamental course, and after that we have a short introduction about the Techlog software and its uses and capabilities. We have divided the 0 to 100 training series of Techlog software into a series of smaller courses. For example, the Techlog fundamental course, or for example the Techlog production logs interpretation and Techlog borehole image processing and interpretation courses, and several other courses that we will name one by one in the slides ahead and give a brief explanation about them. Our current training course is called Techlog Fundamental, which is the foundation of all other courses, and you need to pass this introductory course to start working with Techlog software. So let's go and see what topics are covered in this training course. In the first chapter, which is titled Introduction to Techlog 2018.1, we are going to give an introduction to Techlog software and the topics that we are going to review in this course, which is the same part, and we will check it in the same PowerPoint file format. In the second chapter, which is titled Basics of the Techlog window, we intend to familiarize with the user interface of the software and change the user interface of the software to our liking. Customize the appearance of the user interface in some way. It means to change the location of the window and menus and save it. And finally, at the end of this section, we are going to create a project inside the Techlog software. In the second chapter, which is under the title of Data Import and Export, we are going to import any types of data in different formats to the Techlog software, such as log data, core data, seismic data, and etc. in different formats such as LAS or LAS, DLIS, and LIS, and etc. And also finally get an output from them. In the third chapter, which is titled Variable Management Families and Aliases, we intend to first define the variable and tell how they work and how manage them. And then we want to examine the discussion of families and aliases. The fourth chapter is under the title of Reference Management. If you have noticed, the log data is mostly arranged based on a reference that is of depth. Usually this depth reference is MD or measured depth. In this part we are going to change this reference by using the tool that is in the software. And for example, change it to TVD or true vertical depth. Especially in deviated and horizontal wells, this tool is very necessary and practical. In the fifth chapter, under the title of Log View, we are going to talk about the Log View tool. This tool helps in displaying every variable in the software, and we try to create a layout in this part and display information such as log data, core data, lithology, core images, and other things inside this layout, and get acquainted with its editing tools. In the sixth chapter, which is title of plots, we want to talk about other ways of displaying data. That is, how can we draw cross plots, histograms, and etc. inside the software, and the whole discussion of this part is about these things. In the seventh chapter, which is titled Depth Interaction, Interactive Selection Mode, Zonation, and Markers, we are going to learn about the tool that helps us interact between different plots. Behaving interactively means that, for example, we select an area in the cross plot and see the reflection of that selection in other plots. Also, among the other things that we are going to learn about in this section are the tools used for zonation and the marker tool. In the eighth chapter, which is titled Data Editor, we want to talk about a tool called Data Editor. This tool helps us view our data numerically, change it, create new data, or apply mathematical operators such as subtraction and addition and powers and etc. to our data. In this section, we will talk about this tool in detail. In the ninth chapter, which is titled Well Trajectories and Field Maps, we are going to get acquainted with a series of tools that help us display the well trajectory in 2D and 3D. We will also learn about maps and well predict tools in this section. The 10th chapter is titled Depth Shifting Tool and Variable Splice Tool. We are going to review two tools. The 10th chapter is titled Depth Shifting Tool and Variables Splice Tool. We are going to review two tools in this section, in this chapter. With the help one of them, we can perform depth matching. That is, if necessary, we can change the depth of a log. For example, the logs that are taken from a well are not all of them these logs with one tool, and are logged with several tools. And when interpreting these logs, it is possible that the depth don't match. And when interpreting these logs, it is possible that the depth don't match. That's why we will match these logs together in terms of depth with the help of the depth shifting tool and create a match between them with respect to a base log. And with the help of another tool, variable splice tool, we can merge several logs together and create a continuous log if necessary. In the 11th chapter, which is under the title of project data management, we want to review a set of tools that helps us to manage our data. This chapter discussed data quality control and how to do it in software. In the 12th chapter, which is titled Application Workflow Interface AWI Basic Concepts, we have a tool in Techlog software called Application Workflow Interface, which is a general tool in Techlog software that helps us to multi-well and multi-zone. You can work easily and control the interpretation parameters effectively and completely. In this section, we will fully familiarize with the concepts related to this tool. In the 13th chapter, which is under the title of Report Editor, we are going to learn how to report from the software. We can prepare a report of the items inside the software. Your report can contain texts, images, and anything else that can be displayed in the software. You can prepare a photo and PDF report from layouts, crossplots, and etc. Okay, Techlog software is a product of Schellenberger company. It will run under Windows, and you can enter all information you get from a well into this software, and you can apply manipulation operations on the data. This software is comprehensive and complete, and there is no need for other software. Every year, new updates of this software enter the market, which will increase the capabilities of this software. This software can be coupled with other software, for example Petrel, and better conclusions and be drawn from this coupling by installing appropriate plugins. Well, this software is used in various fields such as geology, petrophysics, geomechanics, and well engineering. After the completion of this course, the geology course is supposed to be offered. The topics of this course, which are Techlog processing and interpretation of quanta geoimages with Techlog fundamental, Techlog processing and interpretation of quanta geoimages, Techlog borehole image processing and interpretation, Techlog formation evaluation with quanti-elan, Techlog thin bed analysis using low REP method, Techlog production logs interpretations. These topics are related to the geology course. which will be available to those who are interested after the completing this course. In the field of geophysics, there is a course called Practical Acoustics with Techlog, applications for geomechanics and petrophysics. Be available to those interested. In the field of petrophysics, which is the main topic of the Techlog software, which is a kind of interpretation and of petrophysics. This course is similar to the geology course and has topics like Techlog processing and interpretation of quanta image with Techlog fundamentals. Techlog processing and interpretation of quanta geoimages. Techlog borehole image processing and interpretation. Techlog formation evaluation with quanti-ELAN. Techlog thin bed analysis using low-rep method. And practical acoustics with Techlog, applications for geomechanics and petrophysics. And which is the last common topic with the topic of geophysics course and other courses offered in the field of petrophysics are Techlog 3D petrophysics for high and low angle well evaluation, Techlog production logs interpretations, Techlog reservoir petrophysics, Techlog for unconventional shales evaluation. These courses, which are related to the subject of petrophysics, will be available to those interested in the future. The next topic to be presented in the future is related to the geomechanics, which include the following topics: practical acoustics with Techlog, applications for geomechanics and petrophysics, and Techlog geomechanics. The subjects of reservoir engineering and production engineering and field development planning are Techlog reservoir petrophysics and Techlog production logs interpretation. I think that I have explained all the basic topics. I hope you got enough benefits.